Hi everyone, my name's Allison and I am the Vinted Value Mama. It's January 2025, so I really wanted to make an up-to-date video for everyone who is new to Vinted. What are the features? How do you shop on Vinted? Things like that. Be sure to stick till the end if you haven't made your Vinted account yet, because I do have a couple of tips for you to make it a bit easier. So let's get started. First up, we've got just the home screen that you can see when you open the app. The first thing on the top is going to be your recommended feed. So these are usually new items that have just been put up, and Vinted will recommend them to you based on what you've bought in the past. Looks like today they are only recommending scarves and sweaters to me, and that checks out because I do buy a lot of scarves and sweaters on Vinted. Next up, we have the favorites. These are the things that you've already found and you've added the little heart to them so that you'll be able to find them again later. As you can see, lots of sweaters on mine, but this is a really important little shortcut because you're always going back and looking at your favorites if you're anything like me. Next, we've got basically ads. It's a couple brands that I've bought from before, and then we have things that I've recently looked at. This is a really handy little spot if you saw something and you liked it, but then you decided not to favorite it, but then a couple minutes later you thought, you know what, that one was really nice, I should have favorited it. Come down here to your recently viewed items and you can favorite it. It's also great if you accidentally unfavorite something and you're like, why can't I find this anymore? Where has it gone? Then you know exactly how to find it again. And if we keep going down, this used to be the news feed. Now it's just sort of more of a recommended feed. It's not super useful. I don't really come down this far very often, if I'm being honest. Moving to the right, we have the search function. Now you can see there are two different searches on Vinted, the one down at the bottom and the one at the top. So at the top, you can just basically type in whatever you're looking for. I've got yellow silk blouse that I was searching for before, and as you can see, I've got 110 search results. On the top, you can filter the items even further by price or something like that. But I don't really use that search option very often. What I will do is come down to the bottom and click on search. Then I'm going to be going to the ladies section, going to the clothing section, looking at tops and t-shirts, looking at blouses, then coming over to the color filter and filtering by yellow, going over to the material filter and filtering by silk. Now we have more than 500 search results, so a lot more than the 101 that I just found using the other search function. I don't know why this is. I just know that this search feature is a lot more robust and a lot more useful if you're anything like me. What I will often do is use the search function at the top to narrow down the results even further. So So right now we're looking at yellow, we're looking at blouses, we're looking at silk. But if I type 100 into the search bar at the top, then it will give me things that are 100% yellow silk blouses. It's really helpful to narrow down your search results even more when you have something like 500 plus results, because ain't nobody got time for that. In the middle is where you can sell your items. We're not going to be talking about selling today, just buying. So keep going over to the right and you've got your inbox. Vinted sends you a lot of messages. I'll show you in just a minute how to turn off the notifications so it's not sort of constant on your phone, but the messages will still be there. You just won't be getting notified about them quite as much. Right now, I am on my mail, which is telling me that things are shipped, telling me that things are ready for pickup, telling me if any of my offers that I put in were accepted or rejected, any communication that I have with other sellers or buyers on Vinted is going to be right here. And like I said, if you're buying a lot of things, that can often be a lot. We also have on the top the sort of automatic messages. This one you get when something you favorited has been bought by someone else. You get a message when one of your favorites has been reduced in price, but not if it's been raised in price. You get messages when other sellers leave you feedback. There's a lot of messages happening. Let's have a look over at the very last icon, the profile icon, because this is an extremely helpful one. If we click on profile, you can see your favorites. Again, this is a great little shortcut so that you always know how to find your favorites quickly. They're right there. We've got the personalization. When you make your account, you might want to go through and personalize it a bit more. So I only get results or recommended things that are in these sizes. Makes things a bit easier. My daughter is almost 9 years old. I don't need to be seeing anyone's baby clothes right now. Of course, it can be a bit of a double-edged sword just because of how the sizing works for a lot of brands. So I wish I could go in and say, okay, generally a medium, in Zara a large, and in H&M a small. But you just can't personalize it quite that much. Unfortunately, this gets you somewhat close. We've also got the brands that you like. So if you go through and follow a brand, you'll be seeing a bit more of it popping up on your recommended feed, or it will be higher in the search results. And then you can also follow people, but I don't, because this isn't Facebook and I don't want to follow anybody on Vinted. Next up, we have your wallet. When you sell things on Vinted, it will be sitting there and you will see, okay, how much money do I have to spend on Vinted? And of course, you can also withdraw that money and just use it at the grocery store or something like that. Now, the next one down is my transactions, and this is another really useful feature. Like I said before, you get messages about basically everything. When you buy something, when something is shipped, when something is ready for pickup, when something is da-da-da-da-da. Some would say too many messages. So if you look at my transactions, it can be a bit cleaner and a bit easier to see. Right now we have things that are working that are sold by me, and there's nothing going on there at the moment. But we also have things that are working that have been bought by me, and it's really easy to see at a glance, okay, what's working right now? How much did I pay for that? Is it shipped yet? Is it ready for pickup yet? Is the person waiting for confirmation that everything is okay? Really useful to get to know this section a little bit better, a little bit easier for you. The next one is the percent off for bundles. I don't have that on at the moment. Next is if you want to donate a certain percentage of your sale. I don't have that on at the moment. You can invite friends, but again, this isn't Facebook. This is selling clothes. There is the vacation mode, so if you don't want to sell anything because you're going to be out of the country and you won't be able to ship anything anytime soon, then just put your Vinted profile into vacation mode. Now, next we've got settings, which is another one that you need to get to know. It's all of your shipping information, your credit card information, all the stuff that I'm not going to show you right now. But there are a couple important things in here. If you scroll down just a little bit, you get to the notifications, and you can decide which notifications you want to pop up on your phone and which ones you don't really care about. Similarly, there's also the email preferences. Do you want to get an email every time something that you bought gets sent to you? Because if you buy a lot of things, that can be a lot of emails and it gets pretty annoying. Vinted updates? No thank you. I have most of these turned off. I'm happy just looking at my messages on the app. I don't check my email all that often. There is a language section that does not allow me to switch my Vinted app into English, no matter how hard I try. And then there is the privacy setting. And this is actually also really important. If we click on privacy, there is one particular thing for Käufer benachrichtigen. So we talked before about the favorites. You put a little heart on the picture so that you know where to find it again, and if you decide to buy it, it's really easy for you. When you do that, if you have this setting turned on, then the seller gets a message saying, somebody favorited one of your items, which A, is just kind of annoying if it's happening a lot. I guess it's like good news. It's difficult to be annoyed by it. But B, often if someone's going through and favoriting your item, it might be like, I'll go through and favorite 15 handbags that I like, but I'm not going to buy all 15 of those handbags. I'm only going to buy maybe one. Probably I'll decide I have plenty of handbags already. So, A, I don't like to get people's hopes up that they're going to make a sale when I'm basically just watching TV and window shopping. B, Vinted will prompt the seller to send a message and offer the buyer a lower price and tell them that they can send it right away and do something to get the sale. And I think for a lot of people who are just sitting on their couch looking at handbags, this can be a bit too pushy and a bit too, cringy. Just relax, dude. I'm favoriting a lot of handbags. I don't think I'm gonna buy yours. So this one is a great one to have off, and then you can favorite to your heart's content, and you don't have to worry about anyone being disappointed that you didn't buy their handbag. Now, I think that's going to be it for now. In the next video, part 2 of this series, I'm going to be talking about a listing on Vinted in even more detail to really figure out how you go about buying on Vinted. And yeah, I hope you will subscribe to my channel to check that out. And if you are new to Vinted, I really recommend this video on the 7 things you should know before you start buying. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!